So hi guys, my name is Izzy. I'm a sporadic YouTuber. Drogo is extra right now. As you probably saw the last video, if it came before this, he's extra in every video. Oh good, lay down. So this one is going to be Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. It's a chunk. I'm actually excited to talk about this one. So yeah, this is one of the very few classics that I've read this year so far. I also read Jane Eyre recently, which we'll get into, I'm sure, at some point. But yeah, I actually, I didn't think I would like this one. I really didn't. And even after finishing it, I'm like, oh, okay, that was all right. And then, let me tell you, I watched the adaptation on Amazon. The adaptation. I'll put a picture of like a clip of a picture of, I don't know. So you know which one I'm talking about, I guess. I watched this adaptation, and I think it made Vanity Fair grow on me more. I also have the Reese Witherspoon adaptation to watch. I have it. I just haven't watched it yet, so we'll see. I guess I won't be talking about that because I haven't watched it yet. I guess I should have watched it before I did this, but shh. So yeah, I actually enjoyed this, like I said, more than I thought that I would. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's like this huge theme of like this obsession with wealth and status, and the lengths you'll go to get it, and the people you'll trot over, kind of. But also, I think it's also a commentary about like society at the time and how hard it is to get that level of status, and sometimes you need to be, ruthless, like Miss Becky, even if I don't agree with her. But I'm looking at it through my comfortable, very privileged, modern existence. So I felt like when I read the book, I didn't feel for Becky as much as when I watched the show. I thought, and even after watching the show, like the first episode, I'm like, yeah, I really don't like Becky. But then she grew on me. Like, she grew on me, even if she is not the best character. But I kind of feel like everyone, not the best person. She's a fascinating character. But I felt like everyone in the book kind of pissed me off. Like, even, I forget his name, but even Dobbin, I think that's his name. Even him, like in the book, he's supposed to be like the moral. I kind of feel like he's like the moral compass, but towards the end, I'm like, dude, why are you still pining after this chick? Like, there's plenty of fish in the sea. But yeah, it was surprisingly good. I listened to this audiobook, and I also read along with SparkNotes. As I've said before, I highly recommend doing that with classics if you're struggling to understand, or just for fun, because a lot of times the SparkNotes will add the SparkNotes or Cliff Notes. I have Cliff Notes. They add to what you're reading, I feel like, a lot of times with classics, because they will give you, sometimes they'll give you context of like what's happening period wise, like time period wise, or they'll give you context into the author themselves and like themes that you're seeing in certain books. Also, this is supposed to be 2 rows of this light green, by the way. But yeah, like I said, so I did that. I listened to the SparkNotes, or I read the SparkNotes along, so I feel like I read the book twice. And then, like I said, I watched the adaptation on Amazon, on Prime, which I very much enjoyed, actually. I enjoyed the way it was shot. I really enjoyed it, like I said, a lot more than I thought that I would. See, Olivia Cook is in it, I think. I think that's who that is. The main girl. I know her from House of Dragon. It's like the first thing I've seen her in. But yeah. It was good. It was really good. I think the next classic that I need to watch I've been trying to read classics and then watch an adaptation as well to also solidify the story in my head more, because there are things that I missed, like I said, reading the book. Sometimes when you see it in a different form of adaptation, you understand the characters a bit more. It's not like, I mean, sometimes people can take different approaches with their characters and change characters. I mean, it's an adaptation. It's not, foolproof, but sometimes seeing it is different than just reading it. I still haven't picked an adaptation or two to watch for Jane Eyre. I haven't gotten there yet, but I did finish Jane Eyre. But like I said, this isn't here to talk about Jane Eyre. I don't know what classic I'm going to do next. I don't know. I picked Jane Eyre because I have it. The reason I picked Jane Eyre, and the reason I picked Vanity Fair as well, was because I'm trying to read all my Audible stuff so that way I can cancel my Audible, because then it's one less thing that I have, because I use Libby way more. So I don't know what my next classic is going to be. I do have Peter Pan, I think, on there, but I'm not a huge Peter Pan fan. And if I do that, then I kind of want to reread Lost Boys. So I don't know. We will see. I picked Jane Eyre because a Rory Gilmore challenge group that I follow on Goodreads that I haven't stayed active with. They pick a book every month, and they pick Jane Eyre this month, and I'm not reading along with them because I've already finished it. But it was like a good motivation to read it. I didn't even chat along with them. I just was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to read that. So yeah, here we are. So read Vanity Fair if you want. If you don't want to, then don't. Yeah, I was surprised. There were a few things. Oh shit, I messed up. I need to do two here. There were a few things when pertaining to the black heiress from where is she from? I don't remember, but her name is Schwartz. And there were a few things with her, and part of me respected the commentary to show, because I felt like it was a good character to introduce, even though it was but it was a good character to introduce to show that what's happening at the time period, and to show society at that time period, whether William meant to or not, because that character, while wealthy, is still set apart because of her race. And I think that was important to show, even if the character's name was Schwartz, which is literally black in German. And I'm just like, I mean, when was this book made? Like the 1800s or something? So you just have to, sometimes you're like, you can acknowledge that something is wrong while still yeah, while still being, sometimes you just gotta remember, you are modern. It's modern times. The book was written in a way different time. Not that that excuses it, but anyway, this one's done. This one's really pretty, actually. I really like I would like a blanket with all of these colors, but I'm not gonna do that. But this is really pretty. Unless I read only, if I do this again, I read only green books next year. It's not happening. Anyway, I kind of ended that on a weird note, but I enjoyed Vanity Fair. I thought it was pretty good. Surprisingly. Did not hate it. So yeah, so if you end up reading this one, let me know. It is thick. It is chunky, but it actually wasn't that hard of a read. Like I said, I did listen, but I feel like the text isn't that difficult to read. It isn't difficult. But if you can listen to an adaptation, sometimes that's easier. But also, like I said, cliff notes, spark notes to follow along. I did a couple chapters at a time, or I did sections at a time. And then I'd read like the spark notes and stuff, so to see if there was anything I missed. But yeah, I was gonna say 10 out of 10, but it's not 10 out of 10. I think I'd give it a 4 stars. It wasn't perfect. There were some things, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the adaptation, but I haven't watched the Reese Witherspoon one. I don't think I'm gonna like it as much because it's a movie, and I don't think it's gonna be able to do the story justice because the story is quite long. So we will see. Anyway, this video is ridiculously long for this. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I'm out. Goodbye. Bye.